All right, everybody, welcome back. This will be the second addition to the random article section.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I think we may have forgot to announce the last part that this is the random article section. So the preceding portion and this coming up portion we're on right here are the random article. It's, you know, the first part was the news blitz where it was just, you know, helter skelter. There's articles coming from the left. There's articles coming from the right. We just try to make it quick. Boom, boom, boom. These ones were trying to take a little bit more time, and I don't know. I think we've singled them out as slightly more important or relevant, more interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
FEMA.
FEMA's use of term federal family for government expands under Obama. Don't think of it as the federal government, but your federal families.
They're here to help me in times of need.
Yeah, they're there for you. And apparently the term government's getting a bad rap somehow. I don't know how that happened. But they're steering away from the use of the G word and trying to call it a family now. We're all family. I mean, I guess that implies that they give a shit about you or your well-being. And even if they did, that they would have any idea how to help you out. Anyway, just another example of the use of euphemisms for just about everything. They call it taxation. Well, actually, it's extortion. They call it, well, there's a million examples. None are coming to mind. You got any, Mike?
I don't know.
Pulling tissues out of your nose, or you got clogs of you got toilet paper lined up over there.
The show must go on.
Hey, I respect that. Yeah, I mean, it's just another example of how language programming, I guess you'd call it. I'm not saying it's some giant conspiracy to do this or that, but that certainly, you know, people in the Obama administration are aware of the fact that there is a negative perception of them and the government as a whole, really. It's nothing specific. I'm sure a lot of people attribute it to Obama, but
I think they
people are just angry at the government in general.
I think they welcome the term Big Brother. I mean, we're talking about family and.
Yeah, I don't know. They might, even though Big Brother's associated.
Yeah, with a lot of negative connotations with it, but
at the same time, it is a family thing. Big Brother is part of the family.
Big Bro.
Big Bro. The federal family is Big Bro, Big Sis. You know, you can always look up to them, and they're looking down on you for sure. Next article. First graders handcuffed. Chicago school told they were going to prison. Now this is just heartbreaking, really. I mean,
it'd be kind of traumatizing, I would think. For
this is horrible. I mean, this is blatant child abuse. This is the stuff that turns your stomach, really. The family of a first grade Chicago public school student who was reportedly handcuffed told he was going to prison for talking during class. Where does it say the ability to, or the responsibility for going after these kids for breaking the arbitrary rules placed upon them in the place where they were forced to go was given to the cops. And where does it say? I guess we'll do another Control F on this one. Never. Let's search for the term never. Yeah, there you go. They were told they were going to prison and would never see their parents again. We're talking first graders.
Yeah.
I would be intimidated if I didn't know what was going on and I was kidnapped by some cop basically and told I was never going to see my parents again, see my family again. I would fuck anybody up, much less a impressionable, young. I mean, that is bullying to the extreme, and then we wonder where the bullying problem comes from. That is over-the-top bullying. But I guess bullying's okay as long as the person has a badge or is part of the government in one way or another. That is so sickening. And, well, I mean, before we even continue on that, we'll bring up this one. Varda, mom arrested for handcuffing daughter over Facebook post. So she was handcuffed because she handcuffed somebody. Mother's facing misdemeanor. Man, she looks like a mother of the year over here. How'd you get all those scratches? Anyway, she's facing misdemeanor charges for handcuffing her 14-year-old daughter after an early morning fight.
Well,
something that
okay.
was posted on Facebook. I guess her daughter posted the word vagina on Facebook or something.
Get out of here.
I don't know what the context was, but
Just vagina, period.
yeah, I have no idea. But I guess if a private individual handcuffs, which I don't support certainly, but private individual does it, the gov says that this is a misdemeanor,
Right.
this is horrible, this is child abuse. But if the government does it, it's for people's safety.
Yeah.
Then it's good for the children. They got to be disciplined, first graders.
Double standard going on, huh?
I guess. And this is the one we had last time, but I don't think we ever talked about. Something about, this was out of Texas, about how many tickets are being written now for kids.
Yeah.
And the overall point being on this, I guess I'll read the headline real quick. Schools giving tickets, not detention slips. Report says court has become a deterrent instead of a detention for some North Texas students. And they go on, including a 6-year-old in Dallas who received a Class C misdemeanor ticket for things like disrupting class, leaving school early, blah, 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 and schoolyard brawls that didn't include weapons. So basically what it's conditioning kids is that you so much as question the authority, the teacher at the head of the class, you so much as disrupt or rock the boat in any way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
and you will be arrested, basically. You'll be handcuffed. You'll be charged. You'll be given a ticket. You'll be extorted. You'll be this, that, and the other. I mean, what kind of conditioning is that for people in a future society? I mean, people come out. I can actually remember coming out of high school when I first started reading about all this stuff and being like, wow, you can actually question the cops, and like you can. I was amazed that, I mean, I was conditioned to believe that these people,
Well,
you weren't allowed to
Yeah.
question the cops and what they could do to you. They could basically do whatever they wanted, and what we have these things called rights, and we have what is that? It was all foreign to me. I mean, I can actually remember that. And this is what I went through is not even 1/100th of what this is. I mean, this is
Right.
absolutely conditioning kids through state-controlled schooling to be utterly subservient and submissive to authority. It's horrible. Unconscionable. Still want to send you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was just about
You
thinking
piece
about
of
that.
shit.
Okay.
But I mean, ridiculous. What is this? Parents just passing off they don't want to have responsibility for their children, just hand them over to the state.
Yeah.
And I never feel bad. I feel bad for the kids. Never feel bad for the parents. Like when all this
No.
effed up stuff happens, it's like you put your kid
Yeah.
there, and they keep putting him back in. I'm like, what are you doing? They're getting outraged, and I demand no. Just pull your kid out and walk away. Okay, you effed up. You learned your lesson. Pull your kid out. Walk away. Make sure to explain to your child that what was done to them was wrong, was abusive, and just walk away. I mean, stop putting them back in there. Horrible. Yeah. First grader put in there. And you brought this up earlier.
Oh, yeah. Cash for kids judge sentenced to 28 years in prison. Oh. Now scrolling down, let you talk about it.
Well, this was a
everything
while.
else.
This is a minute ago, but it sort of plays in. It's the reason we kind of included it. I mean, for those of you that don't know, it was the judge that was basically getting kickbacks from private prisons to send, basically incentivized to send more kids just for totally stupid stuff into this juvie.
Yeah, it's
prison.
juvie. These are kids. I mean, it's not.
This is so over the top.
It's gross.
Working them into the system right away for basically doing nothing. I mean, these people are sickening. This is the land of the free. Are you have to be totally delusional.
And this all also do is make you skeptical of, I don't know, any juvie center. Like, I mean, this guy can't be the lone wolf out there, the one doing this. You know, they all. Okay, they all. That's probably going a little bit too far, but
no, well,
tons.
I'm not saying that they all, but they always portray it as a what do they call it? Isolated incident.
Yeah.
When the cops
Right.
do it, I remember you always see that. Well, this is an isolated incident in our police department, and they always try to make it seem like it's just, one bad guy, and the rest are generally good, and everybody's good. They're like you and me. What people don't understand is that power corrupt. I mean, this is Lord Acton. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you get this kind of power, when these incentives are set up the way they are, you're incentivized. just by abuse of power, you stand to gain so much financially, even though the things that these people are doing are horrible. When you're incentivized in that way, people go down that path, and then they do these things that are just unconscionable. And when normal people look at this, they're like, how could they do that? How could they do that? I don't understand.
Yeah. Pretty sure this guy, well, I know the big news story was the mom, I think some kid got in trouble for drug paraphernalia. I mean, he probably has a pipe, something on him. Got sentenced, I don't know if it was years or whatever in juvie and whatever. The kid, I guess he wasn't rehabilitated, ends up killing him. I mean, basically the mom claims that it was just so demoralizing to him and everything he went through, bad enough that the kid ends his own life.
Yeah. And
then months, years later, you find out this guy unjustly sending this kid to that kind of punishment, and he's benefiting off of it, off to the side.
Absolutely.
It's gross.
Disgusting. And I love how they call them private prisons. That implies that it's like all this misconception where private is associated with free market or something.
Yeah.
Like these are private, so private's evil, capitalism's evil, this sort of thing. It's like these quote-unquote private prisons are, where do they get their money? It's from the extortion racket, from the government. It's not like these things are arising on the market and like, like this happens naturally. No, these are institutions that are separate in a legal sense from the government, but may as well be part of the government. So they're so closely tied to them. They're funded by the government. I mean, they're part of the government. It's just private on paper. That's all.
It's just a word.
Yeah, it's just a word. And it's sad. And she confronts him in a video. You can actually find that on YouTube. I'll try to post it if I remember down below. But have you seen that video? That's what the picture is at the top. Her screaming at this guy, and he kind of just puts his head down a little bit. And
yeah, I hope
you killed my son. Do you remember my son? I mean, I can't imagine the pain that a mother feels. How horrible
lost your kid
because of this dirtbag.
Some bogus charge.
Scumbag. Oh.
I hope he gets. I mean, let's hope he gets raped. I hope he gets raped in prison.
I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
No.
But then again, it's just. State cannot bring justice. Now that's the same extortion racket which just hijacked the law is going to try to bring justice to this guy. They cannot produce justice. I support none of their actions.